just blurry. That's all. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? We are here. We are live again. How y'all doing this evening? Hope y'all had a good week.
Hi, Sasha. Love you
Sasha.
too. Oh, blur.
Let's get this. There we go. All right.
Okay.
So, today, once again, for those newcomers who don't know, we are Twin Flames Unite. I'm Chris.
And I'm Leisha.
What
What
up, y'all?
up?
It is Friday. Y'all made it through Halloween.
Halloween.
Yes. So this is a time to celebrate. These are exciting times that we're in right
Oh,
now.
yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Now, we're gonna probably wait for a few more people to jump in, but we got some people coming in. What's up? What's up?
What's up, y'all? What's
As y'all
up?
come in, just let us know where you're watching us from.
Yeah, do a roll call. Who do we have in the house? We got Callie in the house. Who's in the house?
Oh yeah.
Texas. Who's in the house?
Okay. And today, y'all, if once again, if y'all saw, and today, y'all, if once again, if y'all saw the little thumbnail on the YouTube channel, we're going to be talking about something that's pretty crucial,
Mm-hmm.
and that's pitfalls in a relationship.
Yes. Big holes, potholes.
Yes. Now, Alicia and I have been discussing and researching some things, and we found three points that we feel are big pitfalls for a lot of people.
Yes.
And if this is a pitfall for you, hopefully this video can really help you out in avoiding these pitfalls because that's what you do with people that you love.
Yeah, you
And
give
we,
them good, insightful
yeah,
information that's helped you.
hmm
Yeah.
and we love y'all from the bottom of my heart right here.
Yes. Let me do the
Right
Kiki.
here. Gonna do the Kiki, baby.
Kiki.
All right. And so tonight we're going to be talking about these pitfalls to avoid if you're already in a relationship or if you're uh, right now, you got some applications out and you're looking to fill some positions. You
Cuffing
want
season.
to you want to make sure you examine these people, not even these people, but your situation
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
before you jump into a relationship with someone. So hopefully this information is helpful for you. If you are new to this channel, we ask that you do subscribe and
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and turn on your alert button. It's that little bell over to the right.
Click
You want
it.
to go ahead and turn that on so that if whenever we go live, because we'll just catch you, you got to be ready. So go ahead and hit that alarm button so that you can know when we're going live. Okay?
Yes. And you want me to start?
Sure. Yeah. Go
Hi,
ahead, babe.
Lena. We good. Today we're talking about pitfalls in a relationship, and these are some really good points. We took notes because we wanted to structure it really well so that we're not kind of all over the place.
Hmm.
So you want me to start or you gonna
Yeah.
start?
Go ahead, babe. Ladies first.
Okay, I'm gonna heart, key. So I'm gonna start. So first I want to start by saying sometimes being jumping from relationship to relationship. Hi
What's up,
Ryan.
Ryan?
Can often leave people feeling depressed.
Yes.
And depression is good because depression just means deep rest. So
Hmm.
it's good to get some deep rest sometimes, but just don't stay there for too long. And people usually get depressed because of the fact that they don't feel like they're living their life's purpose.
Hmm.
You ever heard somebody say, I don't feel right here, or this job is not for me, or
No.
this person is not for me. It's because they know that they're really not supposed to be on their path, so they get depressed.
Hmm.
Um, Now, the first mistake that we make in life, in relationships, keep repeating the relationship pattern. The
Yes.
first pitfall is that we keep attracting the same person. When I say the same person, not identical, but
Hmm.
the same
Type
type
of
of
person.
person. Because,
Yep.
some people say, I have a certain type,
Hmm.
or this is my type. And
Yes.
sometimes that's what causes us to go from relationship to relationship to relationship
Yeah.
without being successful is because we keep attracting the same type of person. Like you can be in a
Hmm.
room with 100 people, and some reason you'll pick the person that reminds you of your ex. And that is only because our brain is actually hardwired to look for what is familiar.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes what is familiar is not necessarily going to help in your advancement or your growth,
Right.
but it is familiar. So you're safer with going with something that's familiar and still knowing it's not good for you.
Yeah.
And this
It's
is
so true.
is just a fact.
Yeah, and actually kind of bleeds into other situations, other relationships, because remember, relationships are not just between individuals. It's like your job is a relationship. The volunteer work that you do is a relationship.
Yeah.
Because if you think about this, if you ever been in a job and you're not making the type of money that you want to make, so you leave that job and go to another one. Well,
Hmm.
at that job, you still are not getting paid what you want, and you leave that job and you go to another one. You have to recognize the pattern.
Yeah.
And see, one of the things that kind of attracts us to the same type of job is that because we're familiar with that type of job, and not even just say the job, is actually you're familiar with not making the type of money that you want to make. So the tips that we're going over are not just for relationships between individuals,
Right.
but relationships in general.
In
So,
general. And then another reason why we would want to attract the same type of person is because, when we're growing up, we've seen all these fairy tales,
mm,
Cinderella and who else? Snow White. And in the
hmm
beginning, it was rocky, right? It was kind of crazy. So that's better than our subconscious to get into a relationship. And in the beginning, we think it's okay for it to be rocky, but we're going to
mm,
fix the end when
mm.
what we're supposed to be doing is fixing the beginning of the
Started from the
relationship.
beginning.
You start from the beginning, not the end. So you get the same person like you had before, and you say, you know what, it's okay. This time I'm going to fix it.
No. So don't
No,
do that to yourself.
you don't need a builder bob.
No, no, no.
No,
It's always good to start out on a good foundation.
right,
Just like when you build a house,
right.
before they start putting everything on top of it, they make sure that the foundation is set, that
And you
it's
have a
not going
blueprint.
nowhere.
You gotta
Yes.
you gotta have a blueprint.
Yeah, you got to have a blueprint. And in those blueprints, if you follow the blueprint, you avoid mistakes.
Exactly. And if something goes wrong, you can always go back to the blueprint. Maybe you got
Hmm
to change the bathroom door or something. You got the
Yep.
blueprint so you know how it swings and everything.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
y'all get where we going with this.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so important. One thing that Lisa just said a moment ago is that, and I just wanted to repeat it again, and I hope y'all get this. Uh, a lot of people go back to what's familiar because it's
Right.
familiar. They get so uptight and afraid when they get into a situation that's unfamiliar. Say,
Mm-hmm.
for example, you've been in relationships and your partner or the person that you're in a relationship with just treats you awful. But you end up leaving that relationship and then you get with a person that truly loves you. Like, ladies, you get a guy that opens up doors for you, that pays for the meal, and y'all don't have to go 50-50 on the meal.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get a guy that does all of this good stuff for you, and you're like, oh, he's a nice guy and all this stuff, but I don't think I'm gonna see him again.
Right.
Like, really?
Yeah,
Like
babe.
this
Mm-hmm.
is what you've been wanting.
Right.
But
And baby, you jumping ahead.
oh, I am. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm
Because
doing it
that's
now.
number that's number three. That was number three. So I'm gonna just say it
Okay.
as you mentioned it. That's when somebody does not feel lovable.
Hmm
And so when they don't feel lovable, they want somebody to love them. But and then that's what Chris just said. That's what happens as a result of you not feeling lovable, which means you're not connected with yourself. You're not able to love yourself.
Yeah, Tammy, I am.
That used to be me. So you're
Oh
not,
boy.
because of the fact that you're not loving yourself. When you find somebody and that's your desire, because the mind is always going to try to please you. That's your desire to find somebody that loves you. You now find somebody that loves you, and as a result of you not loving yourself first, you're not able to accept the love that is being given to you, and so therefore you feel like you don't deserve it.
Mm,
So you end up breaking up that relationship, then going back to the one that abuses you because it's again, it's not familiar.
mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yep, yep, yep. So if y'all can concur or agree with what's going on, definitely drop a comment for us. Let us know, yes, y'all are with us. Y'all understand
Yeah.
that this is one of the three major pitfalls that really need to be avoided if you want to have a really good harmonious relationship with an individual, because we only have so much time on this earth. It is very important that we try to get it right as much as possible
Yep.
and avoid these pitfalls and just continue to live your best life.
Yep. And another one of the pitfalls is actually looking for someone to make you better
Mm,
or to make your life better.
mm,
Sometimes you could be like, you know what? As soon as I get into a new relationship, I'm going to do this. My life is going to be better. As soon as I get somebody to give me a ring, I'm going to be
mm.
better. I'm going to be happier.
Yep.
That's another mistake that a lot of us make because we have to always remember that our happiness is our responsibility. We can't
Yes.
expect to put that burden on somebody else because that person is going to come into your life and you have to also remember they're going to have their own problems
Yep.
because everybody got issues really. Otherwise we won't be
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. That is so
We're
true.
here to learn some stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're putting all of your happiness dependent on somebody who you don't even know yet, because this is you're just saying somebody, right?
Right.
When that person comes and then after the niceness goes away, the little love phase go away,
Mm.
and then you start seeing this person for everything that they are, you're gonna be
Right.
like, well, wait a minute, you're supposed to make my life better.
But you come with all this baggage and you messing up my flow. Oh man.
Yeah.
And and with this situation, you have to really be careful with it because, like Leisha said, you want somebody else to come into your life and make it better, but that's not going to be the case.
Hmm.
And a lot of people kind of wait on situations for something to happen just because they think that it's going to make it better.
Yep.
Uh, and to be honest with you, if your life is messed up before you got with somebody, it's still going to be messed up, and they're not going to be able to fix it. And
Exactly.
it's wow, it's just a part of life.
That's
You
it.
you can't you can't go in with those type of expectations because you're going to um, what you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. That's what I
Yeah.
was looking
Yeah.
for.
And then sometimes, sometimes you might get in a relationship with someone and you want to make them feel good, especially like the ladies. You might want to go buy him some shoes or buy him some cologne and there's nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
But, you want to have it like balance
Hmm.
where it's like a give and take relationship, kind of like a seesaw.
Yes.
Because when you get into a relationship like that in the beginning, and you just keep buying shoes and buying sneakers and paying for everything and doing this,
Hmm.
it kind of sets off like a kind of weird tone in the beginning.
Hmm.
And you're not giving yourself a chance to actually be loved, to be pampered, to be nurtured because you're doing all the pampering and all the nurturing.
Right.
So it's good to have like a nice balance going on because the universe likes balance and it's going to do whatever it takes to balance stuff out.
Hmm.
And sometimes we're not so happy with what the universe does.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just thought about the point that I was about to say. Hopefully, it doesn't mess things up. But for my twin flames out there, this is one of the reasons why it is so important to do your work first before you get into a relationship, because nobody's going to make you better. Only you can make you better.
Exactly.
Like so many people say that once I get this person, yeah, everything's going to be fine. Or taking it outside of a relationship with a person, thinking about it for a business opportunity, you think that everything is going to go better once you get this advertising going, like everybody going to be running into your business.
Hmm.
No, that's not how it works. You have to get everything together first before before you get into a relationship with anyone or
Hmm.
any type of situation.
Exactly. And for my chasers out there,
Mm.
You have the runner and the chaser, dynamics.
Hmm.
Chase yourself.
Yes.
Start chasing
Yes.
yourself. Because once you start chasing yourself, everybody's going to follow you.
Mm.
Start loving yourself. Actually, I was listening to what's this lady called, Marcia Pears, and she
Yeah.
made a really good point about something. Have you guys ever noticed that when you're in a relationship, a
Hmm.
really happy relationship, you're happy, you're glowing, everybody's like, you got a glow about you.
Hmm.
That's when everybody's in your inbox. They want to inbox you, they want to invite you out, and you're like,
Yep.
well, hold up. When I was single, nobody wasn't even paying me any
And
mind.
nobody paying me no mind.
But get this, when you're in a relationship, a good relationship, when you have a good relationship with yourself and it's
Hmm.
thriving, it's because you actually have a different vibration. You send off a different frequency.
Mm.
And people can feel that frequency
Yes.
from a
Yes, they
mile
can.
away, from distance away. They can feel that frequency. So that's why when you are in a happy relationship, that's why everybody come and they run to you.
Hmm.
So for the people that are single, you don't have to wait to be in a relationship to give off that same
No.
vibration.
No.
You can give off that same vibration by giving the love to yourself.
Yes.
And when you're taking that love and you're giving it to yourself and you're chasing yourself, then people will start chasing you. Then you're going to be like, wait a minute, where did
Yeah.
everybody come from?
Yeah. You don't have
Yeah,
to wait on anybody to live your best life.
right.
And we say live your best life, and a lot of times we say it because it's one of our favorite songs. I don't know if y'all have ever heard it. I'm living my best life. Ain't going back and forth with you. But
Yeah,
see,
okay, we went too
you
far.
gotta live your best life in the present moment.
Right,
You can't wait for outside circumstances to come along and
right,
then your life be better.
right.
Take control of your life now. Live your best life now.
Now, and learn to be by yourself, learn to love yourself. Because
Hmm.
Medea said something so important in that little skit. She said,
Yep.
if you don't want to be around you, what are you going to expect the next person to do? They don't want to be around you neither because you don't want to
Come
be
on
around you. So you have to learn to love you, love your own company.
now. Hmm.
It's so important to start loving yourself. Like, be to the point where you don't care if you're in a relationship or not because you have the
Right.
best relationship with yourself. And
Hmm.
once you get that, once it clicks,
Yep.
once that mindset clicks into play, that's when
Hmm.
everything is just going to start coming at your way because now you're vibrating in a different frequency.
Yes.
You're vibrating of the frequency of love.
Hmm.
And so you're going to
High
automatically
vibrations.
attract what you are.
Yes.
So your love, so you're vibrating on the level of love, so that's what's going to come to you.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. In life, we only attract what we are a vibrational match to.
Yep,
So if you're love, you'll attract love. If you're sad, you're going to attract sadness.
yep,
If you're vibrating on the frequency of abuse, you will attract abuse.
yep.
And I know that's a hard pill to swallow for some people, but if you if you look at it as far as the natural laws, as within, so without, uh, and just like gravity, gravity doesn't care if you're rich, if you're poor, if you're pretty, if you're ugly.
Doesn't.
It's going it's going to apply to you no matter what.
Unless you're out of space and there's no
Yeah,
gravity. But
yeah,
once
yeah.
you're in Mother Gaia,
Right.
if you throw something up, it's going to come back down. Or maybe if you're in Arizona, one of them vortexes, hey, but that's a whole
Yes.
nother story. But generally speaking,
Yes.
if you throw something up, it's going to come back down.
Right. And when you look into the natural laws, once again, going to the seven hermetic principles, if I haven't watched our video on seven hermetic principles, definitely go back into the archives and pull that video up
Yeah,
and dive deep into the seven hermetic principles because these principles, these natural laws apply to you whether you know it or not.
exactly.
So going back to the law of talking about as above, so below. Sorry, my mind just went blank as
Hi,
to what is
honeydew.
the actual name of it. But whatever you are on the inside, that's what you're going to see on the outside of you.
Yeah,
So if you don't like what's going on the outside, go within, change that, and you'll
yes.
see your whole world change in front of your eyes.
And and another thing I want to mention about
Hmm.
us as humans, we come into this world and we have parents,
Yes.
and they're the ones that raise us. And so we're pretty much going to be raised with their trauma or their
Mm.
happiness or their sadness.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to spend quite a lot of the years with our parents growing up.
Right.
So you might have a traumatic childhood, and then you get to be an adult, and you're like, okay, childhood is over. Let me move on. Wait, not so fast, because the
Pump your brakes.
pump your brakes, because the reason why you will find yourself jumping from relationship to relationship to relationship sometimes, the answer is in your childhood.
Mm-hmm.
99.9%, just like hand sanitizer. Uh, it's it's in your childhood, and so
Yes.
you have to go back to your childhood, do some childhood healing to
Mm-hmm.
see what's the problem. Why am I jumping from relationship to relationship? And I guarantee you, like I said, 99.9%, you'll find your answer laying right there in your childhood waiting for you,
Mm-hmm.
because we played a part. We played, and this is a quote from Marcia Peer. She said, "We played a part. We have." Hold on, let me. I don't want to lie. It says, we play the only part we have ever known until we find our own.
Mm.
So we play the part we have ever known until we find our own.
Yes.
So pretty much the saying, children live what they learn.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yes.
So if you grow up in a household where your mom is always ignoring you or your parents are always ignoring you, chances are when you get older, you're probably gonna reflect that to your partner. You're gonna ignore your partner.
Yes.
Or if you see your dad was always cheating on your mom, or your mom is always cheating on your dad, when you get older, chances are you're probably going to cheat on your spouse, because
Yes.
children live what they learn.
Yes. And actually, a side note for our parents, if you have little ones or if you've already had little ones, y'all can probably attest to this. It is very, very important to monitor what your kids watch.
Oh my.
Because when it comes to television, lie vision,
Yep.
there are so many programs that are being instilled in our young ones, and they have this perception of what relationships should be, what friendships should be. Now, there are some television programs out there that give a positive message, but not many. So you have
Yep.
to be very careful, because what they're learning from these television programs.
Program television. What are they
Yeah,
programming?
yes. So it's going to trickle in and bleed into their adulthood.
Yep.
So you want to make sure that your kids have a good foundation,
Right.
that they don't fall into these pitfalls, and they know exactly what real love is, what unconditional love is.
Right.
So when they start into a relationship, they can flourish.
Right.
Because just speaking from myself personally, because of the my situation when I grew up, I pretty much watched a lot of TV, watched a lot of movies,
Right.
and I had this fairy tale idea of what love looked like. But when I actually got into the real world and started interacting with other women, it didn't pan out that way. And we talked about that in
Yep.
previous videos about removing blockages. So, just a side note to our parents, please monitor what your kids are watching. Make sure that you're the one doing the program and not tell live vision.
Exactly.
That,
And
that that's I'm off my soapbox now.
and for I found out this little exercise that you can do for those of you who
Hmm.
finding yourself, going from relationship to relationship that can get very frustrating. It's a small thing that you can do, being that the brain is kind of always going to want to go back to what's familiar, whether or not it's serving you or not. So
Hmm.
what you can do is you can make a list of things that's familiar to you,
Hmm.
but these things that are familiar to you are not necessarily serving you. It's not helping
Right.
your growth. It's not helping your expansion, but it's familiar. You can make a list of all those things that are familiar. Then when you're done, you go ahead and you make a list of things that might be good for you, but it's not familiar. Let's say you're not used to a guy taking you out, opening the car door, buying you
Hmm.
dinner, the things that you would love to have familiar. Make a list of all of those things.
Hmm.
And then when you're done, you can do like a comparison to see where you're at and where you need to be.
Yes.
And go out there and do something different. Do something different that's good. And fear is something that really holds us back from living our best life because
Yes.
the stories that we tell ourselves, I'm not deserving, I don't love myself, nobody's not going to love me, or look how I
Mm.
am, I'm overweight, I have to do this, I have to do that. Start loving yourself.
Yes.
Look in the mirror every day and tell yourself, you are awesome, you are great,
Hmm.
I love you, you go girl, you bad, look at you, oh, you so fine, look how you look nice. And you say this every day. In the beginning, it might sound kind of crazy, but after a while, your brain is going to start accepting it. And your brain is hardwired to do what you want it to do. So eventually,
Right.
you're going to start believing yourself. Your confidence is going to start lifting because confidence is sexy. It's
Yes.
beautiful when you're confident.
Yeah.
You put on your little spritz, whatever you want to put on, whatever it takes to build your confidence and to uplift yourself, to get to
Hmm.
love yourself again. Because you know what? You are enough. And
Yes.
it's funny because when you're enough, you know that you're worth more.
Hmm.
And when you're not enough, you accept less than what you deserve.
Right.
So for those people who are feeling like they're not enough, they generally just take anything that comes their way. But when you know that
Hmm.
you're enough, you know that you're worth more, and it's okay.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes, you got to do step by step. That's okay too, as
Hmm.
long as you're stepping in the right direction and it's helping your growth and your expansion.
Yes. And the confidence thing is so powerful because that applies to women and it applies to men. Because there have been times when um and this of course is super far met Leisha. But there would be times when I would see women who are normally not my type. Like there is no way in hell that I would be talking to them, right?
Uh-oh.
But they have a certain air of confidence about them, and then they make you take a second look, like, okay, I see you, you know, because when people have confidence, it makes them more attractive. Like people
Yes.
want to go over and talk to you,
Right.
and it was so funny because there was this one person that just couldn't get a man, and somebody gave her the advice that the only thing she needed to do was smile,
Oh, I remember that.
and she ended up smiling and ended up getting married, and they like happily married. I'm like, seriously, the only thing she had to do was
With
smile.
smile.
I mean, you walk around with a frown on your face all the
Yeah.
time. Who wants to come and talk to you?
Right. Because then your vibration changes.
Right.
When you're in a different state of consciousness, a different awareness, people want to be around you because you're
Hmm.
fun, you're happy,
Right.
you're exciting, you're
Yeah.
confident, you're sure about yourself. People want to be around people that are sure about themselves.
Yep.
I mean, if they don't, that's fine too. But hey, if you're in the phase where you're looking to be in a relationship, this might be something that might help you grow and
Yeah.
expand.
Yeah. Because like another example, I'll put you on the spot.
No, you gotta tell me in my ear first. Let me tell you if you could say it.
Well, no, no, no.
Oh,
When you saw me in the mall that day,
oh yeah.
when
Okay, okay, yeah.
when like I was good and I was feeling like, could you tell that I was confident and I was feeling
What?
myself?
Yes. Like I told
Like,
you, you was looking light skinned and everything.
well, like if I wasn't feeling that way,
Yeah.
would this have even been?
Right. Because you look different. Like you just look
Yeah,
really happy. You were glowing. You were just at
yeah,
peace. You look lighter. You just look brighter. And
hmm,
you were glowing.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And believe me, she was this one right here.
I'm always glowing.
Had her boots on. She had her little jacket on. She was all done up. I'm like, okay, let's.
Yup, yup.
Oh
I
boy,
was
so
loving
yeah,
me some me.
that is that is very key.
Yeah.
Now, there's one other point on here that you put out as far as
Oh, the
neediness.
neediness. Oh yeah.
Man,
Get rid of that, guys. This is not sexy.
yeah, and especially for our guys, like I said, I know we got a couple of guys that are on here,
Hmm.
so no lady wants a needy man.
Or vice versa.
No, no, not even.
Yeah.
So you have to be very, because it's draining.
It's draining.
It's like, and especially for our parents. I know our parents can understand.
Right.
Like when your
Oh.
kids come to you constantly, mommy, can I do this? Daddy, can I do this?
Hmm.
Daddy, he did this to me. Mommy, they did this to me. They are just constantly pulling your energy.
Hmm.
Nobody wants to date a kid.
Thank you, I'm Hold, and yes, Tammy, yes,
Yes,
exactly.
exactly.
And neediness, the reason why it's not sexy is because, again, it doesn't display confidence. Like, let's
Mm-mm.
say somebody's trying to pay you a nice compliment, right? They might say, "Oh, honey, you look nice in that dress today," and you're gonna be like, "Oh, this old dress, my stomach hangover." Like, I mean, just just to accept the compliment. Oh, thank you. Yes, this dress
Hmm.
is sexy. And do you see the shoes I picked out? Like, confidence.
Yeah.
If somebody tells you, "Oh, that's a nice cologne," don't
Hmm.
tell them this was $5. Like, just
No. Just say thank you.
yeah, thank you.
Just say
Yeah,
thank you. That's all
that's
you gotta
it.
do.
Thank you.
You know, because what you're doing and what you're doing is sending a message to the universe that you're not worthy.
And you're not good enough.
And the universe is going to give back to you what you put out.
Exactly.
So if you don't look good in that dress, you won't look good in that dress.
Right.
So you have to keep that in mind. Your words are very powerful. The
Mm-hmm.
power of your tongue. They talk about it so much,
Right.
and Alicia knows it firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever she says something, it pretty much manifests
It
in a
really
few
does. I
minutes.
mean, I have to watch what I say now
Yeah.
because it just happens so quickly.
Hmm.
Yes, and I think that's pretty much what we
Yeah.
had to cover. I don't think we missed any points.
No, no, no. And for those who jumped in a little bit late, once again, we were just covering some pitfalls to avoid before you get into a relationship. And if you're in a relationship and you realize that you actually did fall into some of these pitfalls, there's still time to make the correction.
Exactly.
You
My
know,
mom used to always say, while there is life, there is hope.
yes. And just to not to recover.
Wiz!
It's late, y'all. It's been a long week. But just to
I cannot.
recap, the pitfalls that you would want to avoid to really have a good foundation for a harmonious relationship
Right.
is one uh, is that you attract the same person because they're familiar to you.
Hmm.
Uh, so if you notice a pattern of being in relationships that don't serve you, the reason why you keep going to those relationships is because in some shape, form, or fashion, it is serving you because it's familiar,
It's familiar.
and going out to uncharted waters
It's
frightens you.
right, and you're scared of it. And maybe this might be rejection. You might be afraid of rejection. A lot of people are
Hmm.
afraid of rejection, but what people don't realize is rejection is not going to kill you.
No.
It's actually is going to make you stronger
Yes.
because you take one rejection, you take two rejections. After a while, you're a soldier in these streets. So it's okay to rejection is a part of life,
Hmm.
and you just dust yourself off and you go and you try again.
Yeah.
It's
So
not how
keep.
many times you fall; it's how many times you get back up after you fall.
Yeah. As long as you get up more times than you
Yeah,
fall, you good.
go down seven, get up eight. What?
Okay. And the second point is one of the pitfalls that a lot of us fall into is that you want someone to make you better.
Yes.
And in actuality, nobody can make you better
Mm-hmm.
because once you get with somebody else, they have their own issues that they
Right.
have to deal with, and they're bringing all of that together. It's not going to go in your favor.
Not all the time.
Not all the time. Now you can get
Yeah.
somebody that got the 800 credit score. They look good. They got the house and everything, and they're just loving. They love you unconditionally.
Right.
You didn't hit the jackpot. I'll tell you
Right.
that right now. If you got somebody like that, make some changes so you can level up to where they are.
Yeah.
But in talking about that pitfall, it's also very important to have yourself together first
Mm-hmm.
before you get into a relationship. Because going into the third point, which
Mm-hmm.
is that you don't feel lovable on the inside, so you
You want somebody to love you.
right. Because if you love yourself from the beginning, you don't have to externalize your power and look
Mm-hmm.
for somebody else to boost you up. Boost
Exactly.
yourself up.
And that's why sometimes when people end a relationship, one might be a lot more devastated than the other one,
Hmm.
because one, it was like an imbalance, because the one that's more devastated was actually the one that was dependent on that other person to love them or to make them
Damn.
better, right? So now they're gone. Now you're not lovable because they're gone. You were dependent on them. Now your life's not better anymore because they're the ones who were supposed to make you better. So that's where the
Hmm.
devastation comes from.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Yeah.
So those are our three pitfalls to avoid. Hopefully, this information is helpful for you. I would
Yes.
like to hear if anybody else has had any other pitfalls that they've learned from
Right.
that they would like to share. If you're on this live now, you can go ahead and post it within the chat.
Go
But
on
if
and drop them gems.
but if you're watching this video after the live, definitely drop a comment to let us know the pitfalls that you've noticed
Yeah.
to avoid. Because if y'all have seen on our videos, we have a lot of comments and people come through and they
Right.
post their questions, they post their concerns, things of that nature. And what you've gone through and learned can help somebody else
Yep.
avoid those pitfalls as well. It's all about giving back.
Yep, giving back and sharing. If you went through an experience and you've learned from it and you grew from it, go ahead and pass it on and help somebody else. Because sometimes people are searching for answers and they don't know where to
Hmm.
go. Sometimes people are so depressed they don't feel like doing anything. But then it might be that one comment that you make, somebody could just look at it and say, oh my God, that's what I'm going through. I'm not alone.
Right.
And
Oh
that
yeah.
might just be the little thing that, picks them up and get them to start rolling again.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And before we leave out, I definitely got to let everybody know about this. Of course, you all know that Leisha and I do offer counseling for those who really are having struggle with going through these processes and
Right.
picking out the blockages that are going on that are stopping you from living up to your full potential.
Right.
So if you are one of those individuals, there's a link down below where you can actually click on to book a session with us
Yep.
at thirdeyeapparel.com. So as soon as you go to this site, you're going to see the button that says either shop or book. If you want to shop, go ahead and shop. I'm not going to stop you.
You're welcome.
But if y'all want to book a session with us, you can do that as well, and we'll
Yeah.
be more than happy to walk you through. We've had quite a few people that we've been helping just this week
Oh,
alone, and
just today,
yeah,
I don't want to say her name,
nah,
but
nah, we're not gonna put it on blast
a
like that.
beautiful soul. She was
Yes.
so happy. She was so excited. She actually got to figure out her blockages and where they stem from in her childhood, and she had a breakthrough today. And she was
Mm,
so excited. The bell just kept going off. Ding, 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 ding. She sent so many messages and she was so excited.
yes.
And then we got excited. It was just a good roll of energy when somebody has a breakthrough. What did she say?
She's, and this is from Brooke. Thank you, Brooke, for putting a comment. She says,
Yes.
"Thank you. I'm currently back in a regular contact with my twin. It's going well so far. Our connection gets stronger daily. Awesome.
Awesome. See, that's what we
Yep.
love to hear.
Yep.
That's what we love to hear.
Hmm. And you'll find out the more you keep working on it, the stronger that connection gets.
Yes, it's going to get like Superman, like kryptonite.
Hmm. And also, if the information that we're providing to you all is helpful,
Yes.
we definitely ask for your donations. It can be a donation of any amount.
Yes.
There's a link within the description. It should be the first link, and you can actually click on that link and leave a donation of any amount. It will be greatly appreciated.
Yes.
It'll just help us keep this channel going, help bring out more topics to help you all out with.
Yes.
And once again, we still are working on the Twin Flame
Chronicles.
Chronicles. We have not given up on
No, we
it.
haven't.
So definitely keep an eye out for that. And any donations towards that helps in putting those Twin Flame Chronicles
Yes.
together as well. All right.
I think that's it,
And that's pretty much
guys.
it. This one was a long video. Hopefully, these points really resonated with
Yes.
you. And if you know of somebody, once again, sharing is caring. If you know
Yes.
of somebody else who are getting into these pitfalls, and if you're close enough to them that you can talk to them on that level,
Yeah.
please do.
Yeah.
Help a friend avoid these pitfalls,
Right.
because if you saw your friend walking down the road and you see this big hole and they're out there texting, because you know how people text, they texting and they ain't even looking at where they're going.
Right.
Grab your friend before they fall in that pit hole.
Right.
Okay?
Help them out. And always remember, guys, love yourself.
Yes.
Chase yourself, and everybody will follow you.
Mm,
Don't chase anybody. Chase yourself.
yes.
Okay?
Those are the wise words of Leisha. All right, y'all. We hope y'all enjoy your weekend. We are Twin Flames Unite. Chris,
And Leisha,
peace
peace.
out.
Love you, Tammy. Love you guys.
Love all y'all.
Love all y'all. Thank you for joining.